following has been developed by state and provincial agencies in association with the Agency for Instructional Technology. Together, serving education.
Now for the food team for the school fair. Now this is a tough job, but it's a great opportunity to earn some money for a new school computer, okay? Over in this corner, May, Lourdes, and Peggy, all right. All right, now for the boys, Billy and Lee.
Why don't we just buy a truckload of cans of pop?
All kinds of flavors.
Yeah, we can always take them back.
But wouldn't it be cheaper to get the big tanks like at the movies?
Yeah, with faucets.
It's neat the way they fit.
But then you have to wait for the foam to go down.
Think about the lines, the movies.
I don't wish I can see what'll make more profit. That's the goal, isn't it, to earn money for the computer?
Bad news, you guys.
Huh?
Did I hear you talking about selling pop at the school fair?
Yes?
Well, see, the deal with the carnival people is that they get to sell all of the regular type concessions.
Not pop.
I'm afraid so.
Then what do we get to sell?
Natural foods.
Natural foods?
Yeah.
Now, here's a problem I need you to think about. See, natural foods tend to spoil.
Can't we just take them back to the stores?
Well, apples maybe, but strawberries and bananas would look pretty bad in a couple of days. And anything you fix, of course, you're going to have to keep.
Let's not fix anything. Let's just sell what we can take back.
But we can fix things that'll taste a lot better.
Wouldn't you rather have an apple pie than an apple?
Shouldn't we think of what kinds of foods people like best?
You bet. People buy what they like, right? Now, you're going to have to figure out how many people you think is going to be there, what they're going to like, and how much they're likely to buy.
How can we figure all that out?
Work on it. That's why I chose you guys. You're my A-team.
What should we do?
What does he
Let's make a list of all the natural foods we can think of. I'll write them down.
Yeah, let's
Then
brainstorm.
let's go ask everybody in the school to check the things they like
Good
best.
idea.
Yeah,
Do we have time to do all that? The fair starts a week from Saturday.
we have to get the food by that Thursday.
That's just 10 days.
We can do it.
Yeah.
Be sure to sign their names.
Right, make sure they check 3 things.
Get one for each person.
Don't miss anybody. Good luck.
Hey, everybody. I have a list of questions about food for the school fair.
What's this?
Just read it.
Where's the ice cream?
Here. It'll only take a minute. Hey, wait. Here, wait, please, everybody. Here. It'll only take a minute.
Can I borrow a pencil?
Yeah.
Why do you say it's just pick 3 things?
Just pick the 3 you like best. Wait, okay? Hey, wait, please.
Well, the food team has set out to learn what natural foods people are likely to buy at the school fair. They need to collect data from a large group of people. When you do that, you can run into certain problems. The food team has just run into 2 of them when they each tried to catch a whole class of students on their way out of school. It was too big a group, and there was too little time. Still, they're hanging in there.
Thank you all for helping me get this class.
We all have to help each other.
If we can get 1 class before school, 1 class after school every day, we can still get the food by Thursday.
Everybody got pencils?
Yeah, I'm trying to catch at least 5 people. Above all, don't let anybody out the door.
Hey, come here, you guys, come here. Here, you guys, come here.
Sign your name and check the 3 foods you like best. I think we're going to Grandma's this weekend. We'll do that some other weekend. Tell my mom about that. Take it. Got problems. Why don't you have chocolate-covered frozen bananas?
Because the carnival people will be selling things like chocolate.
They didn't have them last year.
I can't help it.
I don't want to take all day. Come on. Why are you doing this?
Because we're trying to figure out what food people will buy. Are you all in this class?
13, 14. A lot of people are saying cake and a lot are saying strawberry. Let's make strawberry shortcake.
Wait a minute, strawberries spoil quickly, too.
20, 21.
Only 21? There should be more.
I didn't see anybody get away.
Bunker had a dentist appointment. She promised to give me her form tomorrow.
So 22.
But what about the kids that were out with the flu?
How many were out?
There were 8.
8? Can we please get their names from you?
Oh, yes, sure.
8 students absent. The food team has just run into a third problem that can happen when you try to collect data from a big group of people. The group isn't stable. People move around. They aren't always easy to reach. Still, the food team is hanging tough.
David Hill. David Hill. 317 Elm.
317 Elm.
555
555
9147.
That's all.
I'll call the people who were sick today.
I'll call the people that are absent tomorrow.
I'll do it Friday. I'll do Monday.
I'll do Tuesday.
Sally?
Yeah, hi.
I'm May.
Yeah, I know. You're in Mr. Bing's class.
Right. Were you sick today?
No, we had to go to Springfield to help my aunt and uncle move.
Listen, I think your telephone is broken or off the hook or something. It's been busy for 2 hours.
Billy's been on the telephone with his girlfriend.
You jealous?
I'm on the food team for the school fair.
Oh, I love the fair.
Then you're coming?
Yeah, it's next weekend, isn't it?
Right. I have a list of all the natural foods for thinking about selling at the fair. Would you mind checking your 3 favorite foods?
Sure.
May I fill one out? I'm going too.
You are?
Taking Jenny.
No, I'm going with the gang, same as always.
I guess I'll go with Mom and Dad.
Your mom and dad go too?
Remember last year when Dad wouldn't go on the Ferris wheel and Mom had to go with Grandpa?
Your grandpa?
You do have a problem.
So if we really want to find out who's coming to the fair and what kind of natural foods they like, we'll have to think about everybody in town.
Yep. You won't get a whole lot of people from out of town, but there are 8,000 people in Wilburville.
And all age people come?
That's right. Last year, I'd say about half were kids from the school, and the other half were other people from town.
Adults will probably just want vegetables.
Forget it, they just say we're supposed to.
I don't think you'll have to change your list too much. But yeah, adults may like some different things.
How will we ever be able to talk to 8,000 people?
Maybe we can get our friends to help us.
They all have their own jobs.
And think about all the people who won't even be home.
As long as the food team thought they only needed to talk to students, they figured they could reach everybody. But now that they realize that any of the 8,000 people in Wilburville may come to the fair, and there are only a few days left, and lots of people may not even be home when they go to talk to them, they need to find some other way to learn what natural foods people are likely to buy at the fair.
There is a technique you can use to find out information about a large group when you can't collect data from everyone.
Really?
It won't be easy.
It can't be as hard as trying to talk to 8,000 people.
That's for sure.
So what's it called?
Thought you'd never ask. Yes. It's called sampling.
Is that like a free sample?
No, not really. I guess the best way to explain it is a sample is a small group that's taken out of a large group that stands for the large group.
What do you mean?
Well, let's say there's an election, okay?
Okay.
Mayor Flutnagel is running against Sam Smith, all right? There's 1 million voters that are eligible to vote, okay? Now, it's just before the election, and you want to be able to predict who's going to win. Well, there's no way you're going to talk to 1 million people. But let's just say you talk to 1,000. Are you with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay, and out of those 1,000, 800 say they're going to vote for Sam Smith. Are you with me?
Yeah.
What does that say about Mayor Flutnagel's chances?
What chance? He's gonna lose. He doesn't have a chance. He'll never make it.
Okay, you're with me. Now, the 800 over 1,000 reduces down to 8/10, and we can assume that the same proportion of 1 million would vote for Sam Smith. Are you with me?
Okay.
Good. That means that 1,000 is a sample of 1 million.
Oh, I get it. I see.
Get it?
Hey, there are 8,000 people in Wilburville, and we've talked to a lot of kids.
Yeah, let's make them our sample.
Whoa, there's a problem here. Does anybody see what it is?
What?
May, when you talked, what did you discover when you talked with Sally and her brother?
That it's not just students who come to the fair.
That's right. All kinds of people come.
Does that mean we ought to go talk to all different kinds of people?
You got it. Your sample ought to be a little Wilburville. It ought to include all kinds of people from the town.
When you want to use this technique of sampling, there are certain questions you ought to ask. The first is, who's the big group? The food team found this out the hard way when they assumed that their big group would just be students. Another question is the sample like the big group? It wouldn't do just to talk to students if all kinds of people are coming. There's a third question, but let's see how the food team figures it out.
How do we find a sample of people who be like a little Wilburville?
Well, let's talk about that. Any ideas?
Could we go downtown and talk to the people off the street?
Would the people on the street be like a little Wilburville?
No, they're all business people.
And people shopping, too.
And there aren't many kids.
So we got some problems here. How else can you reach people?
Can we call people up on the telephone?
My mom doesn't like me on the phone too much.
My big sister always answers ours.
We could call people on the phone if we were really careful. Let's keep brainstorming. Any other ideas?
Could we go to people's houses?
That's another way to do a sample survey, door to door. Now, what would you have to think about in order to make sure your sample was like a little Wilburville?
Shouldn't we go all over town?
Right. Neighborhoods could be really different.
We should talk to all different ages of people, right?
We could do that by trying to talk to all the people who live in the houses.
By Jove, I think we're getting somewhere.
Yeah!
So the third question to ask is, how can you reach people? The way you try to reach people should fit who you are and what you can do. Also, you have to be careful that it gives you a sample group that's like your big group. There's a famous instance of a faulty sample taken during the 1936 election for President of the United States.
I accept the nomination of the Republican Party.
The race was between Republican Alf Landon and Democrat Franklin Roosevelt. A magazine called The Literary Digest took a sample survey of hundreds of its subscribers and predicted that Landon would win. The way they chose to reach people was by telephone. Now, telephones were just coming into wide use, and not too many people could afford them. Where do you think this sample survey could go wrong? Well, first of all, the sample group wasn't like the big group of all eligible voters. Subscribers to the Literary Digest did not represent most of the nation's voters. Also, the telephone then was a particularly bad way to reach people, since many people did not have telephones. When the election returns were in, Democrat Roosevelt swept the election, winning 46 of 48 states. I wonder how the food team is doing in its attempt to reach a sample that would be like a little Wilburville.
But 70 liters of strawberries?
But if 2,000 people come and they buy what they said they want,
Then we'll sell 500 pieces of strawberry shortcake and 200 servings of fruit salad. Sounds right to me.
Okay.
Mr. Bing, we're finished.
We figured everything out. The people at City Hall gave us a map of all the homes in Wilburville.
Houses and apartments.
We went to every 10th home.
We went all over town.
Sounds good. How many homes did you go to?
150.
We talked to 391 people.
We added a question to the questionnaire, too. You think you'll come to the fair?
Should we just count the people who said yes?
Great idea. You want your sample to be as much like the big group as possible, right?
Right.
You people ought to be running the government.
97 people said they could. Come.
Let's see, 97 out of, how many people did you talk to?
391.
So about 100 out of about 400, 1/4. Let's see, there's 8,000 people in Wilburville, so 1/4 would be 2,000. Yeah, that's about how many came last year.
That's what we figured out, too. Here's what we think we ought to buy.
What do you think?
I think maybe the school's gonna get a new computer.
Yeah! Look at
Way to go, you
that.
guys. Congratulations. Excellent work.
MathWorks is a component of the Mathematics for the 80s project and is supported in part by Exxon Education Foundation. This program was produced by John Allman and Art Fitzsimmons under the supervision of the Agency for Instructional Technology.